And I think we are live. I'll leave it a few minutes for everyone to kind of join, the notifications go out, everything like that. But hope you're all doing well. Um, just thought I'd do a live stream. We got to 4,000 subscribers last week. So I said that if we got to 4,000 subscribers, that's when I'll do my next live stream. And hey, we're here now. So yeah, thought we'd do a Q&A. I'll try, I am trying to do more of these going forward because I actually really enjoy them. And I think it's just good interaction. Like when comments come in as well to when the comments come on the video, I can't really give that much detail about it, but live stream I can actually like talk for a really long time about them, and you get more information out, don't you, rather than typing. So I want to do more of them. It's just we'll see what we can do. But yeah, hope you're all having a good Sunday. Don't know what you're all up to. I kind of watched the F1 earlier today, and then I'm probably going to watch a little bit of the football this afternoon. Busy week next week. We've got the Greg's earnings. We've got Boohoo earnings. So it's going to be a crazy one. Good move on Friday for Boohoo. So I think a few of us are up on that one. So what I'm actually going to do today as well to make it a little bit different is normally I'm trying to get a new laptop so I can live stream on the laptop rather than using my actual iPhone, because when I use the iPhone, it's really hard for me to like read the comments because like they're literally, no joke, they come up for like 5 seconds and then disappear. It's a nightmare to like keep up with them all the time. So I am going to try and get a new laptop to then live stream on the laptop, and then I can actually read the comments so much better. So what I'm going to do today is I've actually got my computer next to my iPhone to read the comments, hopefully a little bit more. So hopefully that makes it a little bit better today. So hopefully it does improve it, like I say. I've just got to find out where channel there is a live stream. For some reason, it's coming up on my computer that I am live streaming, but it's not showing me where it is, which is a bit of a nightmare. Hopefully sort that out. I thought it was just going to pop up when I went live streaming, but it hasn't. What a nightmare that is. I might have to stick just to reading the comments. I should be a bit more prepared, shouldn't I? This is like the least professional live stream I've ever done in my life. Live now here. Yes, I found myself on YouTube on my computer. That's a little bit better. Cool. Well, hey, I can see everyone's questions now. That's a lot better. So how's Workhorse looking? It's looking okay. It had a little bit of a pullback. Um, it it needed a pullback, didn't it? It had such a good run. It gave another opportunity for people to get back into the stock as well. So yeah, I think it was a good opportunity to buy back into Workhorse if you totally missed it. Obviously, it got pulled back because of the Tesla situation. There was a bit of negative news about SPAC plays that came out. So yeah, it was a good pullback, and if I think it's a good opportunity to buy if you didn't buy it anyway. So yeah, I think the United States Postal Service contract comes out very soon, so we'll see what happens there. But if he gets it, it should be quite good. Thoughts on Greg's and Boohoo's earnings calls next week? I've got a video coming out tomorrow, Monday, 5 o'clock, hopefully, if I can edit it all today, about that and like my thoughts on it. But basically, overall, I think Greg's is the more guaranteed one to do well. I went to the Trafford Centre yesterday, and Greg's was actually like queuing out the door in the Trafford Centre for Greg's, which was good. Everywhere I've been, Greg's has been really busy queuing out the door, and I think that when you look at the stock chart on Greg's, it's really negative. Like it's literally like below COVID lows, and it's like, how is it even this low? So so I think it's got a lot more room. There's so much negativity there that just if Greg can get to break even on this earnings report, I'll be absolutely buzzing. So if you get to break even, I think the share price should rocket up. The only other Boohoo, sorry, Boohoo. I think it should do good because it's online e-commerce, the lockdown, ordering online, and everything like that. It's just whether one of those, if the situation because of the factories having to move factories, and also because it lost like ASOS and like Next and Amazon, I think, to sell some of its products. I mean, I don't know how much that's going to affect it, but overall, I'm quite positive going into both of them, to be honest with you. So I do expect them to go up after these earnings. When I go into normal company earnings, I'm kind of like, we'll see what happens. If it's good news, then fair enough. But I'm actually kind of expecting these two to do okay, just because of how low Greg's is, and obviously how well other e-commerce platforms are done, and I expect Boohoo to kind of go in that kind of path as well. So we'll see what happens. Thoughts on PayPal? Can they continue their growth? Um, I'm a big fan of PayPal. If you take PayPal as a company and how it's growing and everything, like it's great. The only problem I have with PayPal is the price. Like it's ridiculously high. I don't know what PE it's trading at now, but it's a very high PE. So if it could get to a better valuation, then I would be very happy to buy it. I think maybe is it like 170ish now off the top of my head? I can't remember. But I'd like it to come down a little bit from there. So Cineworld still keeping. Yeah, still keeping it at the moment. It's I don't know if you read the earnings report. It was pretty rough. They burnt through a lot more cash than what I thought they were going to burn through. I also went to the cinema last night, and the cinema was dead. Like literally, the screen I went in holds like 250 people, 300 people, and I think there was only me, my brother, and then another like I think 8 people in the whole screen. So it was like that amount of people for a 250 screen was kind of crazy. So saying that, the cinema that I always go to, it's always pretty dead, to be fair. Um, so I don't know, because I never see a busy cinema nowadays, but I think it was kind of like worrying how quiet it was. So um, JP Morgan, it's financial. If it's at the right price, I'll buy it, but I'm not a fan of the whole sector. It just has very limited growth. That's the big problem with it, and because of that, you never see that it'll kind of perform with the market, and that's what doesn't really interest me. Because when I buy stocks, I want to make. If I buy a stock, I think I always have a good shot of getting 100% or more on it. Sometimes it doesn't. It's not 100%, but it's close to it. So like, iRobot, I sold for like 80%, I think. But when I bought it, I thought it had 100% upside, but still 8%. It's still good, isn't it? So that's the thing. I just don't want to like limit myself with financial plays. Um, do you think it's worthwhile to hold WH Smiths? Yes, my opinion's kind of changed on WH Smiths a little bit actually over the last few weeks. So I actually thought the other day that the problem with WH Smiths is that it's not going to do well until the airlines recover and then airport traffic picks up. So at that time, when WH Smiths does well, Dark Group will do well. And out of WH Smiths and Dark Group, which probably perform better, probably Dark Group. So I'm kind of still like a fan of WH Smiths, but I still think there's like a long time before that recovers, as well as Dark Group. So I've just got to kind of balance that out. But yeah, I'm still a fan of WH Smiths for sure. Um, I hold Greg's Tailwind Shell in my portfolio. Cool. Three companies. Yeah, it's a good start. I'll try get to like 10 or 15. Probably about 10 if it's your first portfolio, but Greg's Tailwind Shell. Yeah, I mean it's very diverse. Two UKs, one US. You've kind of got a kind of like a bit of a dividend play there, a bit of a steady value play, and a bit of a spec growth play. So good mixture. Um, Thoughts on Morrison's? I can't remember the company in and out like everything, but I think last time I looked, it was actually okay. Tesco's pretty good, so I think it's okay. It's one of those that you just won't have like crazy gains on. So one of them, just be careful not to limit yourself. But it depends on your investing strategy. Like for me, I like getting 100% return, but if you kind of like more into like dividend and value play, then um, that might be a company for your portfolio. So yeah, it kind of all goes down to what sort of opinion you have on what you want to do and everything like that. What's the biggest loss I've ever made? I've only ever made a loss on one company, which was about a month ago, which I sold my Walgreens at a loss. That's the only company I've ever lost money on. So yeah, I've only lost money on one company in 4 years now, 5 years now. I think it's 4 years or 5 years of being in the stock market. So yeah, one loss in that kind of 4 or 5 years is pretty good, I think. I just saw I sold Walgreens because I kind of lost faith in the management. I still got like dividends out of it, so that's the whole reason I got into the company was for dividends. So I guess that wasn't too bad. So yeah, that was the only one I've ever lost money on. Do I still hold Boohoo? Yep, yeah. I did a video on Friday. Still a big fan of Boohoo. When do you plan on selling Boohoo? So my plan originally on Boohoo, I think when I did the second video on Boohoo, when I bought into it, I kind of like broke it down on what I'm planning to do fully with it. So I think there's a full video on it there. But I'm kind of like planning. It's for me, it's fast fashion. So it's kind of like a bit more of a risky play because Boohoo could go out of trend so fast. Someone else could come into this area, and it is kind of a risky play for like a 2 to 5 year hold because you don't know where this company's you don't know where the whole industry is going to be in 5 years. Things go in and out of fashion so quick, and so that's it's one. Boohoo's actually one of the companies that I won't want to hold towards that 5 year end. I actually kind of want to hold it probably around 2 to 3 years. So it's a bit more of a shorter play for me. My plan originally was to sell Boohoo out at 300, 350, 400, 450, 500, 550, 600, and then maybe hold a bit more just, for probably forever, and kind of just edge out like that. So I did sell out at 300, but then obviously it's gone to 350, but it kind of shot past 350. And the thing is, it's like a week now before earnings. I think earnings could be good, so I don't really want to sell out. If I get it wrong, then yeah, a bit of a bad decision on my side, but I think there should be decent earnings at least, and maybe the earnings can push it up to 400. And then if we see good earnings on Wednesday, I probably might sell something like a 10% of my position after earnings if it goes above 400. So I might trim my position on Wednesday on Boohoo if it goes the right way. We'll see what happens. I'll try and make a video. Thoughts on Blink Charging? Don't know the company that well. Sorry. What are your thoughts on Dark Group for the future, take into account Brexit and COVID? So my opinion's kind of changed over Dark Group over the last couple of weeks. So I thought that it would be get into a better position in October. But looking at what's going on right now, it looks like it's probably not going to be in a good position in October. Probably more than likely there's going to be another pullback in the stock in October. So for me, I thought it would start to show signs of recovery in October. Kind of think that we might get another opportunity in October now. So it's like I say, Dark Group's definitely a 2 to 5 year hold. It's going to take a while for those airlines to come back for a long time. That's a concern because I hold Cineworld. You're not the only one. The thing with Cineworld, right, is that I can't see it going bust, but it's going to be a rough ride. It's going to be a rough ride. And if they can turn it around and everything goes well, the share price will do very well. So, yeah. In terms of growth stocks, what do you think the best UK growth stock, given the perception that growth companies are only in the US? Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, I mean, we are really limited into growth stocks in the UK. I think, well, I would have to go with Boohoo because it's my biggest position in my UK portfolio. It's a growth company. So, yeah, I might have to go with Boohoo on that one. I think, yeah, I'll have to go with Boohoo. I was going to say a few more there, but I'd just be kind of just saying a lot of rubbish because I still think it'd be Boohoo. So, yeah. Do I ever trade? No, I don't do day trading. It's a lot of work. You've kind of got to be on top of it all the time. And like I say, it's kind of like gambling. It's not, if you know exactly what you're doing and you get really good at it, you can do well, but it's kind of like a one in 10 people. So no, I don't. What's your thoughts on DLG? I don't know that one off the ticker symbol. If you say the full name of the stock, I might get it. I'm trying to think if I know DLG. Thoughts on EasyJet since it dipped again? Well, I bought EasyJet a few months ago, if you remember. It just kind of like sunk out of nowhere, and I bought it, and then I actually sold out of it. Very short term hold, and I took I think 20-25% profit on that, just because it just went up too quick, and I don't like it as much as Dark Group, so I bought that, sold out for 20%, 25%, which was nice for like a month's hold. And then I moved it into another company. I can't remember which company it was that I bought with it off the top of my head. But I did mention it on a video, so I have got a video somewhere on it. I kind of mentioned it somewhere in a video on a back end of a video when I bought a few stocks that I did sell. But I did sell my shares in EasyJet to buy it. But yeah, I made an easy 25% on EasyJet. So I haven't looked at the share price again. I don't know if it has it dropped a lot. I might have to have a look at that after the live stream actually. Any thoughts on Barclays after the dip? Yeah, I actually did consider buying into Barclays because I did own Barclays. It's one of the first UK stocks in the portfolio that I bought. Sold out about 45% profit, maybe 50% profit it was. I like I say, I'm not a big fan of bank stocks, and when it was up 45-50% within like 2 months, I was like, let's just take the profit out of this. So yeah, now it's dipped down again. Potentially might buy Barclays. I think Barclays is probably one of my favorite banks. Lloyd's isn't too bad, but yeah, I think yeah, I'm a fan of Barclays for sure. BT Group, I've not looked into it. I've heard a lot of people talking about this. From what I know, I don't like it, but I hear a lot of people talking about the like 4G side of it. So I need to look into it to give it a fair review. Do I average down or average up into positions? Do you buy equal increasements, and how many purchases do you make to get into a position? So yeah, this could be different for every kind of like purchase that I do make. So if I feel like a company is like has dropped a lot and I feel like it won't be there for long, then I'll go quite heavy. So I'd buy like 50% of a position at once. Normally, I would buy about 30% of my position. But like I say, if I think it's a very rare opportunity, I'd probably go straight into it. I do average up, but I don't like averaging up when my stock's gone up above 10%. If it's gone above 10%, then I'm like this is too much now. I think a bit of pride kicks in as well. Like, so, but yeah, if it goes up 10% or more, then I stop averaging up. Averaging down, I'm willing to average down as it keeps going because every time it goes lower and lower, I like going in more and more because you just get bigger share gains when it goes up more. So, yeah, that's kind of where I am with that. Do I have any thoughts on ChargePoint stock? Yeah, I'm actually going to do a video hopefully on it this week. I've kind of looked into it, but not fully. Yeah, I am kind of looking at doing a video on ChargePoint at some point. On growth stocks, I'd recommend taking a look at TM17. Is that the gaming company? I think I know which company that is. I think it's the gaming company, isn't it? I think I'd look into that, and it actually looked all right. One of those that I need to actually read the annual report of. If it's the company that I'm thinking of, do you still think Boohoo will be 600 in 2 years or more like 800 plus now? Um, I, I think Boohoo will be 600 in 2 years, minimum. So it does have a chance of getting to 800. It's hard to exactly predict where it's going to go. If I knew exactly, then when it got to that price, I would totally sell out of. But it will get. I believe Boohoo will be 600 plus in 2 years' time, 800 potentially. Good Dropbox price now. I think Dropbox is a good purchase right now. So yeah. Have you got any opinions on when a vaccine will be available? If a vaccine is delayed, not possible, what are you selling first? I don't think there'll be a vaccine. I think COVID will have passed before there's a vaccine. There's been many different forms of COVID previously, and there's never been a cure for it. There's not going to be a cure, I don't think, in the time frame in a year's time frame of it happening. It at least normally takes over 2 years for a vaccine to kind of go through the full stages. So, like I said, they've never been able to get a cure for previous versions of this. How long it normally takes to go through all the procedures, all the trials, all the phase 3 side of it. I still think we're a year out, and I think in a year's time, I think we would have kind of naturally gone through it. So yeah, I don't think there'll be a vaccine, to be honest with you. Do you think Pinterest has potential as a growth stock? Well, I hope so because I own shares in it. Yeah, Pinterest, great company, great company. I think I'm up 120% in one portfolio, and in my other portfolio, I think I'm up 80% right now. I'll have to do a portfolio review sometime for you guys. Something like that. Yeah, Pinterest, great company, great growth, great management, great balance sheet. If you read the annual report and listen to the conference calls, um, great, it's fantastic. Have I looked into Intech Pharma stock? Yeah, I actually did this on my Patreons group um, a week ago, and I actually can't remember what I said, but I don't think I rated it a buy off the top of my head. But I did have a look into it a week ago. It can't have been that good because I haven't bought it. So yeah. Do you ever use stops to protect your capitals? The market's so volatile at the moment. I guess you ride the wave. Yeah, quite often I am happy to kind of just go through what's kind of going on. More than likely, by the time the stock's gone down, there's probably no point selling. Um, I know as well as that, when I buy a stock, I actually have a book somewhere. It's actually right here. This book contains a lot of stock information that I always look into. Um, in that book, I there's a page on every stock that I've ever bought, and I put on it. I've put like loads of information on it, and I also put points of like my bull case on it. And when I buy the stock, I also put points when I'm going to sell the stock. I could try and find a page for you just to show you it. But yeah, in this book, like there's a page on like Pinterest, and I've got it like written down from 2019. This stock's going to go up for this reason, this reason, this reason, and then below that, there's reasons why I would sell and when I would sell. So to keep me in check, I always just look at the book that I do, and if it gets to um, where where I think it's going to be, then or where I wanted it to go back then, that's when I sell. It stops me from getting very greedy because it's very easy when your stock start going up 100% to go, I'll hold it for another 10%, another 20%, another 30%, and then next thing you know, it just totally crashes, and it's like it's a good way to keep you in check. Like I do recommend like getting yourself a stock market book and writing down your bull theory in it, and like when you buy the stock, write down like when you think you should sell it. I think it does really help you. So yeah, that's where I've got a lot of ideas on. So no one's allowed that book. I lost it once actually. I actually left it behind somewhere at work, um, and I drove back straight away to go get that book to make sure it didn't go missing because I thought I've got like 2 years of stock information in there, so I should really learn to just type it all up on Word and save it or something. But hey, yeah, Team 17. However, they're more of a indie publisher code developer rather than relying on their first party IP now. Fantastic recurring revenue, which will keep growing. Yeah, yeah. I need to have a look into that company a little bit more, but yeah, it does look good. Sold Pinterest when I made 5% profit. Should I have held it for a long term? Is it still a buy? Well, I'm a long term investor. So yeah, I would say that you should really hold it for a lot longer than that. It goes down to how you are as an investor. Personally, I would definitely have held it more than 5%. A buy right now, I probably won't buy right now. It's quite a big valuation. So your call. But yeah, I think it's you best stop looking for other opportunities now. As most of us are new at investing and we can't seem to get a blue chip company as our biggest holding, what would you suggest we build our portfolio around now? When you say you can't seem to get a blue chip company, does that mean because the valuations are so high, or because you can't afford to get a big blue chip company? Um, if it's because the valuations are so high, it's just patience. Eventually, the opportunities will come. Um, people got carried away in January, February, and then there you go, COVID comes. If it's like that you can't afford the blue chip companies, it's just about trying to get more get more cash coming in. have more cash to buy things, and that will help you get there. Thoughts on crypto? I don't own crypto. It's just like past me. Like I'm all right at like individual stocks and everything like that. Crypto is like a different game. Like, you could be good at playing rugby, put a rugby player in a football match. It's one of those. I just can't do it. Mentioned this before, but have you looked into, how do you say that? Paychecks? Yeah. Nope, don't know that company at all. Am I as good looking in real life as on the camera? I'll put some sort of filter in to help me. Do you think there is a positive future for Nikola Corporation? Man, Nikola. They're being funny, aren't they? Have you seen the new article that came out on the weekend about like having to buy all these sketches and everything? Nuts, absolutely nuts. There is a future. There could be a future for Nikola, but it is at least 2 years being off investable. They need to get a car into production, get some sales on board first. Yeah, it's rough for them. I'm thinking of cashing non-performing stocks to buy into Workhorse this week. Is this a good idea? The thing is, work. It depends what stocks you're thinking of cashing out on. I'd think before you do sell them, like, why did you buy them? If the bull case still exists, why are you selling them? If you think, oh, you made a mistake, then sure, but don't get too carried away with chasing like stocks, like one stock like Workhorse. So I don't know. I'd have to go through like what stocks you own and which ones you're selling totally for that. Thoughts on Slack? Oh, I can't remember the company in and out, but I've heard good things about it. Upwork, same again. Don't know the company in and out. Heard good things about it. I get Slack and Upwork mixed up all the time. Is Upwork the one where you can do freelance work? I think so, isn't it? Um, if it's that one, I think that one's pretty good. Is Slack the one that kind of competes with Microsoft? I'll have to have a look at them. Do you think the markets are close to bottoming out? No. I mean, it's short-term predictions, but US, you've got presidential election. That'll shake it up a bit. October's quite a volatile month as well. UK side of it, lockdown still coming in. I'd say the UK is definitely closer. Yeah. Do I like any SPAC investments? Yeah, I currently own Diamond Peak Holding Corp. I'm going to look at ChargePoint in a few days' time as well, see what they're going on to. Why don't you buy more international stocks other than England, US, and China? Geez, man, how many more do you want me to have? You named three there. Just can't keep up with all the economy. You have to know the economy's in and out. Yeah, Upwork is the freelance one. Yeah, Upwork's the one that I like. I think when I remember, it's just a bit too far off profitability. But I think apart from that, it looks really good. So yeah. Do you think Wirecard will ever pop up again? Oh man, Wirecard. Oh my god. That's a stock that's banned from the channel. We are not talking about Wirecard. Slack is like Microsoft Teams. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know Slack as much as Upwork. Seems okay, but I don't know it that much. Square a buy right now. Don't know what price it is, but it's probably more than likely overvalued, I think. Yeah, like Microsoft Teams and Zoom. Yeah. Thoughts on Neo? Do I hold any shares? I did a video on them. I like what they're doing. They just need to get a little bit more scaled up before I can buy them. So yeah, Neo's one of those that I'm kind of like watching at the moment. I think it could be another year before I actually get close to buying them. Have you looked into Virgin Atlantic for the future, or do you think it will flop? Yeah, I think it's a weird one because it's never going to be mass market. It's only going to be for like the few. The problem I have with Virgin Atlantic is that when they did one of the test flights, the spaceship crashed, and obviously they've got a few more test flights to go. If it crashes in that period, the company is dead in the water, and that always puts me off. When especially it's crashed before. One crash, another crash would kill the company, and because of that, I just can't really get over the line on it. Um, do you still think Airtel Africa is a buy? Yes, yeah, still pretty good. Any thoughts on Superdry? Avoid. I'd be closer to shorting Superdry than buying it. I went past Superdry at the Trafford Centre today, Saturday, yesterday, and it was dead. I mean, I've never seen a busy Superdry. It is the quietest. The thing with Superdry is they always have the biggest stores, and they're always the quietest. Like, there's no one ever in them. So yeah, I won't touch it. Won't touch it. Ted Baker was also pretty dead as well. Primark, I know it's always busy, but it was still busy. So I'm gonna have to look into their stock as well um, at some point. Can you move your stocks from investing to trading ISA on trading 2 and 2? No, I don't believe so. Dropbox, when did you buy in and how long you plan this will be worth holding for? Do you sell out of positions completely or do you still hold small positions? Yeah, for Dropbox, I started buying that one in 2019. Um, and I kind of stopped for a little bit. I thought it would kind of go run up, and it did. It did. It was up like 20% in my portfolio, and it's pulled back to about being 10% up now. It's been a bit slower than what I thought it would do. I don't really know what's going on with that company. It's definitely massively undervalued. And when I do sell out, it all depends on my position size and also where I think the future of the company is. So yeah, it all depends on certain situations. Something like Microsoft, I have a massive position in, and I still think there's more upside. So I didn't want to totally sell out of that one. But something like our iRobot, I only had only a couple, maybe a couple of thousand in it, something like that. And I was like, I'll just take the profit from this one and stop keeping up with the company, because it wasn't a massive position really. Is Huya still good value? Yeah, I think Huya at these sort of prices is still pretty good. Autodesk, I don't know it in and out that well. So I hadn't looked into the company for like 2 years, so I couldn't tell you. It's been a while since I've looked into that one. Revolve is down. Do you still think this is still a buy? Yeah, I think Revolve's still a buy. I'll be honest with you, at the moment, I'm kind of focusing on Boohoo. So yeah. Yeah, they did go bust. Yep. What do you think of Dropbox? Yep, still a buy. Shopify, good. Just really high valuation on it to be honest with you. Um, with Virgin Galactic, I think there is enough rich social media influencers for their business model to succeed. Potentially, yeah. There's a big backlog for people to go on the things and everything. The whatever they call them, I forgot what they're called now. Yeah, I believe there's enough people there to do okay. Um, yeah, the thing is that the thing with Virgin Galactic, I can see the bull case on it and I can see the bear case on it. So, what do you think of L legal in general being as low as 178 right now? Yeah, yeah, easy money. Yeah, I agree with you. Legal in general is definitely a decent buy right now. Gang is the next Shopify. I feel. Yep, I believe that as well. That's why I'm happy to keep backing that company up. Massively undervalued. Yeah, Gang is right now probably the closest thing to Shopify at a better valuation. I agree. Do you recommend a minimum investment amount when buying shares, as trading fees can eat into gains easily? Um, well, if you've got trading fees, then you're probably using the wrong broker. Um, so I don't know who you are using, but if I were you, I'd look to move to either free trade, where you buy all your shares and it's free, um, just like the name here, and or trading 212, because that's free, and also you can use an ISA on there, so you don't pay any tax as well. So if you're definitely using a small amount of money, trading 212 is probably the one that you want to be going to. So um, just like I'd actually like to know, what broker were you using? Just type the message back. Who was it that sent the message? I've lost the message. Vix 0121. Type down. Let me know what broker you're using. Want to know who you think their expensive fees are. Does Rocket Mortgage interest you? Yep, it does. I never got round to going through the annual report. I never listened to the earnings call either. So I need to do that before I buy the company. But right now, I'm just really focused on, like Greg's, Hollywood Ball, US side, Who Yeah, Dropbox, Gang, In Mode. I've got so much going on, like it's crazy to look into all these. So yeah. Are you worried about Hollywood Ball with further lockdown restrictions? A little bit, a little bit. But it's already really low. That's the thing. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know. From what I've heard for you guys, the inside things that I've been hearing at the moment is what's going to happen is the government are going to do a 1 week lockdown on the October half term for the school holiday for kids. And then they're going to do another week lockdown after that 1 week. So we're going to have a 2 week full lockdown, October, that last week in October, and then in November. So it sounds like we are going to have another lockdown for 2 weeks then, which is 3 weeks away. And we won't hear about it for another 2 weeks yet. But from what I hear, from what I know, from what I know so far, because of my work, it's going to be a 2 week lockdown at the end of October that we're going to have. And then hopefully the government are hoping that it's going to drop cases down, be able to keep things open, get through to winter, worst of it passed through winter, and then cases calm down in spring. That's from what I know from the inside of the government right now with the COVID situation. That's what I hear they're doing. So it sounds like everyone's going to be in for this 2 week lockdown. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So I think they'll stay open, and then if that does happen, what I have heard, that's what it'll be. I made Greg's my largest position. What can you tell me about its moat and the perception around the brand? I'm not from the UK. Well, if you don't 100% know your company, I would say that you need to do that before you buy it, especially if it's your largest position. You need to have a little bit more knowledge on your company than that. So I would say you just do a bit more research than that. But I'm a big fan of Greg's. As you know, I talk about it enough on the channel. I actually think I might get like a Greg's banner here above my whiteboard at some point, maybe down here or something. I wonder if they can do I wonder if they pay me for some advertisement if I put it there. I could have a Greg's banner, Hollywood Ball banner, and a Dark Group banner or something. But yeah, great brand, a lot of stores, great management, great balance sheet, great growth. And it's working on its own supply chain. Supply chain will bring costs down, better profit margins. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. I've got plenty of videos on it. Go check some of the videos out on it. I've got full 10 minutes on it there. I use a Halifax share ISA and looking to move to Trading 212. What is the difference between Trading 212 and Invest and ISA? Do you get charged tax on the Invest one? So yeah, I think Halifax charge like £4 for a trading fee. You'll have to let me know. I don't use them, so I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's like £4 you have to pay on Halifax. Free trade is free. Free trade, sorry. Trading 212 is free. ISA, yep, same as any other ISA, like your Halifax ISA. You don't pay any tax when you sell the shares on it. If you do your invest, then obviously you have to do tax on your invest shares when you sell it. But obviously you've got your capital gains allowance. So if you are selling shares and you don't go over your capital gains allowance, use that to your advantage and don't pay any tax. But obviously if you do go over, then you've got to do a self-assessment for it. So yeah. Do you think Aston Martin is worth a hold at current prices? Nah, not a fan of Aston Martin. I'd buy Greg's at the start of 2-week lockdown as it'll be too close. Potentially. But what happens if it shoots up after earnings on Tuesday? You just don't know. We'll see what happens. I started using Barclays Smart Trader. I've not heard of that. £6 per transaction. It's too many messages. It's moving off the screen. Wish I had known about 212 earlier. Yeah. How do these big firms get away with it? So do you think schools will close in this next lockdown? Yeah. So obviously because it's half term, they're not at school anyway. And then the next week they'll do, I think it's going to be like home learning stuff. That's my what I've heard so far on it. So yeah. Scroll down on these messages that go flying too fast. I have shares in 35 different companies. Wow. Happy with all the holding. How many you hold and what is a fair number to hold? Wow. 35 is mental. I mean, if you can do it, then fine. But man, I don't know how you keep up with reading like 35 companies' news articles and earnings reports and conference calls like every quarter. I mean, if you got the time to do it, fair play. You can do it if it's like your full-time job. But 35, Christ. I think I hold something like 13 in my US portfolio, and I think I've got like 13 in my UK portfolio or something like that. But I kind of do it on the side, so I can kind of keep up with them all, to be fair. But 35, yeah, 35 is a lot. But if you can keep up with them, go for it. Go for it. On Greg's, isn't there Q3 earnings due out in a few days from now? Yep, Tuesday. I expect to still have already reached break even by now, so it might be a bit of a jump in price before the next lockdown. Yeah, agree. Yeah, I'm doing a video on it on tomorrow about 5 o'clock ish. I might release it a little bit earlier, actually talk about Greg's and Boohoo. But yeah, I think their Q3 should be good. I'm hoping for good results. I'm hoping for break even. That's the big thing that I'm looking for. So if we get there, if we get above break even, hopefully we see a share price jump in it. Could I do a video on how to organize a portfolio? Yeah, it's on my list to do. It just keeps getting knocked back because there's just like a lot of news coming out right now. But yeah, I'd say that you want to have 3 big holdings taking the majority of your portfolio up. Should be nice big blue chip companies, nice big market caps, and then just build around there. Leave about 10% for spec plays like Diamond Peak, stuff like that. Should be solid. National Express stock, please. What about it? What do you want to know about National Express stock? Great company, sold off a lot. Be a bit of a rough ride, but yeah. What is your case for Greg's having a good earnings on Tuesday? I expect 8% back to 2019 levels, which will give it break even. If it goes above 8%, that will be fantastic because the company will be back at profitability. So yeah, I'm hoping to see 80% of 2019 numbers, break even. Anything above that is an absolute bonus. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, this is the Greg's chat. Literally, I need a Greg's banner there. We need one. I actually miss Greg's being my biggest position. Like obviously it's Boohoo now, but I actually miss Greg's being my biggest position. Is trading 212 reliable and stay safe? Yep, they are very safe. Thoughts on Aston Martin? Just covered it. Not a fan. Host clearly gets a Greg's every day at work. I'm actually trying to avoid like eating anything like that. Greg's, McDonald's, KFC. I'm trying to avoid having it at the moment. I might have had a few recently, but hey, you got to support your stocks, haven't you? I always say you got to support your stocks. So sometimes it's got to be done. Have you looked into Amigo? Looks to go up once the boardroom stuff finishes Tuesday. Don't know the company that well. Sorry, I can't say that much about it. What do you think of UK housing stocks hitting COVID lows like Taylor Wimpey, Crest Nicholson? Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy that how low the house builders are. Because what I've seen, it looks like the house sales are still pretty strong. To be fair, I five houses went. I know they're not new builds compared to like Taylor Wimpey and stuff like that, but five houses went up for sale. Like around where my house is, and they've all sold within like a month of going up. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So even though it's like secondhand houses, like still house sales seem really strong at the moment. What is Greg's break even share price? Do you mean break even on the profit front? 80% of 2019 numbers. So if Greg's get to 80% of 2019 numbers, from there they make profit. So we'll see what happens. The last time we heard, they were at 72% of 2019 numbers, and that was on July the 25th, I think. So yeah, we need another 8%, hopefully, in August and September, and we'll see where we get to. Yeah. Please get the logos around your whiteboard. You really need to make your show area sexier. Also, write and draw morphers on your whiteboard. You know what? I actually used to do loads of writing on the whiteboard. If you go back to my old videos, I was literally like Picasso on my whiteboard all the time. I was like drawing on it, and recently I've just kind of got so lazy. I just kind of like put the title on it. Um, I threw my green pen as well away the other day. Um, yeah, yeah. I used to be like drawing in it so much, and I just don't use it anymore now. I do need to start using my whiteboard a lot more. Um, I've kind of actually been considering over the last few days actually changing the setup a little bit. So I'm always up to like wanting ideas. So if you guys have any ideas, like just fire them my way, and we'll see what we can do. I've considered like maybe if like sitting down videos is the way to go rather than standing up, but I just feel like you're just not really animated sat down. I like being like stood up and talking. Like even there, I'm like bouncing around on my seat, like talking. So yeah, I've thought about that. I've thought about maybe putting a backdrop here on this wall, um, make it look a little bit better. Kind of thought about the lighting situation, but trying to put some more lighting around here as well. Um, Sound as well. I mean, the microphone isn't too bad. I've got my microphone somewhere around here on the floor. I literally recorded two videos before actually going live stream, and that's what I currently use right now for my videos. But I'm actually thinking about getting a proper mic. Maybe that can improve the sound a little bit. So yeah, I'm kind of always looking at ways to like try and improve what's kind of going on. So if you guys have any suggestions, you know, always fire them my way. Um, like I say, always up for it. Um, National Express jumps last week. Are they too high to get into now at £1.39? Um, yeah, I think National Express is still a buy. You look at how much they sold off. Yeah, I think there's still a decent price for National Express right now. I watch a lot of similar YouTube channels with bigger sub numbers, and you are one of the top. Keep it up, bro. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah. I just try and be honest. You know. I just try and I don't really want to talk like a big game or anything like that. I just kind of like want to give my opinion on stuff, try help people out. Um, you know, I'm happy where I am on the YouTube side of it. I mean, 4K subs. I'm really happy with 4K subs. I've always kind of wanted to get to like into like the 10,000 range. I always thought that was like a really big number. Like I always tried to like imagine like 10,000 people watching you, and I'm like, that's kind of crazy, you know. It's a lot of people. So I've always like had the ambition to get towards like 10,000 plus. That'd be really cool if I could get there. Like I say, still at 4,000 though. I'm really happy with 4,000. I've got you guys are all a great community here. You all help each other. I've seen it on the comments. You all talk to each other. You try and help each other out with feedback. Same on the Patreons group that I have as well, and on the Discord group. Really bunch of great guys. So as long as I can help people a little bit, hopefully it's more than a little bit, but if I can help a little bit to, make a bit more money on the stock market, that's always the aim. So if I can do that, I'll always be happy with that. Hi Jacob, well done 4K subs. Thank you so much. Can you advise any good books to read on investing or websites? I'm on my Wall Street and Yahoo. Is that Simple Wall Street? I think that's Simple Wall Street. And Yahoo. Yeah, them two are really good. If you use US stocks, go to CNN. They're pretty cool. Obviously, the annual reports are great. Seeking Alpha is a good one for American companies if you want to use them. Financial Times is pretty good, but you have to pay quite an expensive fee for them. They have a lot of good information. Bookwise, it's not really a stock market one, but Rich Dad Poor Dad's pretty good. The Intelligent Investor, I've got that over there. I can see it right now. The Intelligent Investor. You know what? I'll go run and grab it for you. I'll grab it for you. 1 second. You'll still be able to hear me because I've got my AirPods in. I'm coming back. Here we go. This book here, that one is a really good one. The Intelligent Investor. It's got updated as well by Warren Buffett. It's a bit more of a value book. It's kind of a little bit more dated, because originally the first edition of this book was written in 1940 or something like that. But like I say, parts of context have been updated since, and like I say, some of it's updated by Warren Buffett as well. There's a lot of really good information on there. So yeah, this is the first book I would start to read with, or if I was to buy a book. But I also like Rich Dad Poor Dad. Those are the two kind of books that have kind of always stuck with me through investing. A green screen and then insert a tropical island. Yeah, I could do. I'd prefer to have a Greg store behind me and then be stood in a Greg store talking. Where I'd go with it. But yeah, I have thought about a green screen. The problem with a green screen is that it would have to then come out a little bit. And then I don't know how close I'd be to the camera. I am potentially looking at moving somewhere else in the next kind of couple of months. And where I might move to might mean then I have to go to a green screen, because I don't think I'd get me in a whiteboarding. So it might happen. The only problem as well is with a green screen is then you have to kind of edit the background as well. And like I say, I still have my main job as well. So time wise, that's the only problem with a green screen anyway. Disagree about getting logos and set up just for good simple info is the reason I watch. Oh yeah. Yeah, I like I say, I like to keep it simple. Want it to kind of be about the information, help people make more money for sure. You will easily be 10k in a year's time with the content you make. Oh, thank you so much. Hopefully we'll get there to 10k. We'll see what happens. Like I say, I'm happy at 4k. It's just that 10k is it's just a number that I've always wanted to have. So it's a long-term target, and if it takes a year, if it takes 3 years, I don't mind it. I've kind of done YouTube videos on the side for 4 years, so to be at this sort of point, I'm happy with where I'm at. Hi, did you buy Shell shares? What do you think about price on merger? I didn't buy Shell. I never actually got around to fully looking into the company, to be fair, and I think the share price did already take off. But it looks like they've got some interesting stuff over there from what I've seen. You also advise invest in Financial Times. Yeah. ASOS a bit late now to invest. Probably, yeah. I think it's at 52-week highs. I think it also has quite a rich valuation. One Up on Wall Street, Peter Lynch is a great book. Yeah, I've heard about Peter Lynch's books being pretty good. I've never actually got around to reading them myself. I've heard good things about them. So yeah, I might have a look at them. I kind of listen. To be honest with you, I do listen to podcasts a lot more now for investing. So they're good ones to listen to. I think Robin Hood do a podcast. There's also another one called Invest Talk, that's an American one. They're a little bit conservative, a lot more value plays on there, but they do say some good information. I just disagree with them sometimes on growth stocks. Like they've been hating Tesla for like the last 4 years, and I was like, yeah, how did that turn out for you? But people make mistakes at the end of the day. You're not always right in the stock market. Am I more bullish on Diamond Peak or Workhorse? I'm actually more bullish on Diamond Peak. It is bigger than my Workhorse position. So yeah, I am more bullish on Diamond Peak. Can we have a whiff around for a new green pen? Yeah, I am. I am limited at the moment. The next few videos will only contain 2 red pens, and what have I got left? A black pen. So yeah, we do need a new green pen at some point. So we'll have to have a whip round for them. If you could only own 3 stocks, what would you own if you're looking for a 5-year time frame? Right now, Facebook, definitely. Hollywood Bowl, good valuations, and maybe Greg's because of how the valuation is at. Maybe them 3. Hammerson, don't know it that well. HSBC, financial play, so you're always going to be limited to your returns on it. Rank group, I covered on my private Discord group last week. For you guys that don't know, there's a patrons group. On the patrons group, I do like a weekly series, and I take questions from everyone in the Discord group, and I film it and talk about the stocks that they want me to talk about. And Rank Group was on it, and I believe from what I can remember, because it was last week's episode, I think I said that Rank Group was a decent stock. So I can't remember it in and out. So yeah. Found your stocks the best place for me to start researching holding Greg's, National Express, Boohoo, up 50%. Oh, good work on the Boohoo already. And Hollywood Bowl, happy to hold most for 5 years plus. I think all of them stocks are fantastic. You'll do okay with them in the next 5 years, I think. Congrats on 4K. Thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing. If you'd rank these stocks in terms of return in 2 years' time, Taylor Wimpey, WH Smith, Greg's, DTG. DTG. Who is that? Who is that? Who is that? I forgot who that is. It's not that group, is it? I'm going to quick search. Yeah, it's that group. Yeah, I should know that. It's because I'm getting used to the new ticker symbol, Jet 2 now. 2 years' time. So I would say that Greg's probably will be the best one. And then I would say Dark Group, the second best one. And then probably WH Smith's, and then probably Taylor Wimpey. I would go with. Very close though. That was a hard question. That was a good question. How do you get around tax when taking profits? Buying your ISA when you can, and use up your capital gains tax when you can. It's one of the main reasons why I sold Tesla right before the end of the tax year. Just using all of that free tax that I can to not lose any of my profits, I guess. Premier Oil, not a fan of oil stocks. Yeah, not my favorite place to put my money. Thanks for all you do. Love your approach. It's refreshing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Salesforce or Snowflake. I don't know Snowflake that well in and out just yet. So I would go Salesforce, but there's a lot of hype on Snowflake. So It might be a good company. I'm not the best person to ask that question, because I don't know them. If I don't know a company that well, I'll tell you straight up that don't take my advice on that. Ask me about companies I know. I'll be all right there. Ask me what you think about Greg's. Ask me what I think about Greg's. I'll be all right then. What are your thoughts on the idea of winners keep winning and adding new money on your winners that have already gone up a lot? For instance, should I be buying more Zoom if I plan to hold for 5 years? I would say to that point that you just kind of, blindly walking into a situation there. When you're buying something, you should always work out what's the value you're going to make, how much money you're going to make on it. So everything's kind of got their fair price, their overvalued price, and if it goes above that, yeah, you got to take profit at some point. Thoughts on Delta? I like it, just at a better valuation. That group, Jet2 is a better valuation. At what price did I buy Greg's? I have no idea what my average is now, to be honest with you. No idea. I could tell you that I'm down about 18%. That's where I'm at. I can't remember what my average is. I'll be honest, like I hardly ever look at my portfolio really. I just kind of leave it to it. I just leave it do its thing. I kind of like flick at prices, see where it's at, and that's it. And I don't really check what I'm up, what I'm down. I just kind of leave it alone. I think you can get kind of like caught up, like staring at your portfolio all day if you do that. So yeah, I don't. Yeah, I just kind of leave it to its whatever it's doing. How do I go about valuating a company and determining if a stock price is overvalued? It depends if it's a dividend stock, value stock, growth stock. Value plays, you're probably looking at P ratios, historic value. Growth stocks, you're kind of working out revenue growth, profit, share price, market cap, future P ratios. That's the basic way of looking at them in a minute. To give you a full answer, I would need like 20 minutes on each of them. So hope that kind of helped. Is there anything you would do differently if you started investing today? I think compared to where I was at when I started to where I am now, I would say that I've definitely got better at averaging into companies. I've got better at valuing companies. And I would also say to myself that stocks always pull back and you don't always need to go chasing stocks. And then you can get a better price. So I'd say that's probably what I'd probably say. AT&T, don't know it inside and out, but I know a lot of people like that dividend that they offer. So right, how long are we going for? We're an hour. Wow, can't believe we've done an hour. I'll do another 7 minutes. Go to about an hour and 10. I'll call it time there, guys. And then I'm off to watch Man City play Leicester on TV. I made it sound like I was actually going to the game there. I'm watching it on TV. So yeah, I'll do a couple more answers and then I'll get off anyway. I'll try to do a few more live streams as well, a little bit more often. We'll see what happens. Maybe at 5,000 subs, that'll be a good one to do. Pick one, Greg's or Gang. Oh, that is tricky. If you ask me for a 2 to 3 year hold, I would pick Greg's. If you had asked me that I had to hold a stock for 5 years, I'd pick Gang. That's kind of like the most on the fence answer, wasn't it? Who's your money on for the presidential election? I don't know, you know. I actually think it would be Trump, but I don't think the coronavirus has helped him. And I think it's gone to 50-50 now. So we'll see. I thought Trump would win the last election, which he did do. So I did call that one right. This one 50-50. If you ask me closer to ask me in November, and I'll tell you what, I'll make a decision. I'll stay 50-50 for now. What's my exit price on Diamond Peak? I'm kind of thinking that I'm just kind of leave it to its thing for 3 years, to be honest with you, and I'll see where it is in 3 years. I haven't really got a price on it. Over 100%, put it that way. Thoughts on Intel stock? Is it still around like $48? Is it? If it is, then it's still a buy. Yeah. Are you still in the green overall? Yeah, I'm still up quite a bit. I think I'm up. My trading 212 account's a lot newer. So that isn't up as much. I think that's up like 15%. That's only been open since like March time, I think. And my DeGiro account, which has been open for like 3 years, that one's still up about 100% right now, which is pretty good, isn't it? So yeah, I mean that's been propped up because it's got like JD.com that's up 280%. Obviously, it had Tesla, which was like 250%. It had Microsoft, which is 100%. And then obviously it had like iRobot that was 80%. Who else is up on there? Pinterest is up like 70 or 80% in that account. So yeah, all them kind of stocks have really like shoved the portfolio up really. I took some other profits as well, which have kept it up. Like I think Win Resorts was another 80%. So yeah, there's been quite a few high gains really in that one that's kept the Zero portfolio up 100% for like a year's gain. So yeah, I think my Zero one's still up 100%, and I think my trading 212 is up kind of like 15%, but it's a newer portfolio, so I don't expect that to do 100% gains like the Zero one for another 2 years yet. So ever been to Bolton? Yes, I have been to Bolton. One of my really good mates is a Bolton Wanderers fan. So I went with him to Bolton, and we went to a Bolton Wanderers game. So yeah, I have been to Bolton. What do you think of Vodafone? Don't know it 100% in and out. I think they're kind of going on the 4G play as well. So yeah, see what happens. What part of the country are you from? I'm from Yorkshire. I thought the accent was pretty strong, so maybe it's not as strong as what I thought. So yeah, I thought I had quite a strong one. What do you expect Greg's to be in 2 to 3 years? I expect at least 100% return. Yeah. Do you think there's a chance of a major crash coming? No, I don't think so. We might have a couple of 5 to 10% dips on the way, but as a full-on crash, I don't think we'll go down that much. I'm from Bolton and a Bolton fan. Yeah, it's been a rough time for Bolton, hasn't it? League Two now, is it? Or is it League One? Or is it League Two? They're in League One or League Two. I can't remember which one it is. But yeah, it's a rough time as a Bolton fan. I'm new to Gen 2 and I have 3 shares in Boohoo. Do you see a company like that continuing to rise with a second lockdown? Yep, yeah, it's e-commerce, isn't it? So it should do well. Thoughts on EA, Activision? Yeah, I like them. I like Take-Two Entertainment as well. Do you still value Lemonade stock long-term hold? Yeah, I'd like to see where it goes for about another year before I do buy it, but it looks interesting to watch. It'd be interesting to see how they develop. Yeah. League Two. Oh wow. I said League Two and I was like, no, they can't have fallen that far so quick. I thought I think there could be League Two. Wow, that's crazy. Do you think Microsoft is currently a good price? It's okay. I'd be looking at Google and Facebook personally. I think there could be, a bit better prices, to be honest with you. And like I say, if I were you, I was a big fan of Microsoft. It's been my favorite company on the stock market for like the last, 4 years. And like last year, it changed to Facebook. I think Facebook is the one that you should have in your portfolio, and not Microsoft. But still a good company. Don't get me wrong. Still a really really good company. Um, IAG Rolls Royce. Well, there's only one way up for them in there now. They've sold off so much, haven't they now? Crazy how much they sold off. Um, Oil stocks, I still avoid them, but at some point they are going to come back. We still need oil, to be fair. Um, what makes me bullish on Facebook? Um, well, the growth, the profit, the balance sheet, the management, the four biggest social media apps out there. Fantastic. Adverts on the platform is only going to go up, and you're going to have to pay more for the adverts. Great platform. 30 stocks. Well, it goes down to you. If you can keep up with 30 stocks and read through all the conference calls, earnings reports, then hold 30 stocks. I would say it's too much myself. But if you could keep up with it, go for it. I don't think I could keep up with 30 stocks. Like I say, I try and keep to 15. 15 is where I like to stay. How many stocks do you think a small investor should hold? 10 to 15. Yeah, 10 to 15 is where I'd go. Yeah. So I'll do this as my last question, and then I'll get off, guys. What SPACs are you interested in? So I currently hold Diamond Peak, but I'm going to look into Charge Point at some point, and then might look into that one, and that'll be roughly it anyway, guys. So we'll call it time there anyway, guys. I think my dog is kicking off, so we'll hold it there anyway. So I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you on another live stream, guys.